Hey Cancer, how are you? How are you? Some of you will be Leo with a Cancer sun, and Cancer, you might probably have a Gemini sun. Get into that if you want. I've just finished. I've been gone, and I'm sorry, since December. I wasn't planning on that, and I'll try not to talk too much and get straight into these new decks from Ibiza, Spain. IbizaTarot.com. I'll put the link in. Japanese Ohara Koson deck, printmaker, designer, artist from the first half of the 20th century. And the ancient India deck, which has traditional paintings in it that I need to find the names of the painters for, if it's possible to find them. And I believe the words are based on Bhagavad Gita words. But I hope you're doing okay, Cancer. I had quite the experience. Well, I had Leo with quite an experience, and she has her sun in Cancer. And I was, we know how at least one of Cancer's readings even disappeared, or the intro disappeared. And so while I was a little concerned about the Cancers, turns out I should be worried about the Cancer/Leos. So, and there's been a heavy involvement in your life with, let's say, Mother Earth energy. For me, it's Grandmother Spider Woman, Kali. For Leo, I looked up Goddess Sekhmet, the lion goddess of Egypt. And for you, Cancer, I was looking up for the astrology workbook that I've been working on. I also had to do an 86-page report of evidence connected to a murder. And it was time sensitive because some of the people involved in the murder were deleting evidence after I confronted them, and which only helped me. Then I go get screenshots of of the evidence that they've deleted, what I once had them on record as doing, right? Plus screenshots of all our collisions, interactions. And that's about pulling 5.5 years, 6 years of work together, because at least 10 or 11 murders are connected. But I did the report for the mother of the latest victim. So that plus the astrology workbook, which is 350 pages, 13 months. I'll be doing weekly guidance videos for that. I'll put the link to that if that's any help. But I realize you got your own stuff going on. But if it helps you understand your birth chart, I do a pink spider composite birth chart mixing the tropical with the sidereal. But I go through all your houses. Each month is a different house. Okay, so let's get to you, Cancer. I'm going to use these decks as oracle decks. I gave most of my oracle decks and some of my tarot decks to the Leo that went through the death experience. And her guides brought her back. God brought her back. Grandmother Spider forced her back, and because she's got deep leadership role to play, and that was part of her transformation, which is a really harsh transformation. So I want you to know that you are stepping into extreme power, okay? As I think all signs must be, but particularly, this is how you will be stepping into your power. We're focusing on that seems to be a huge thing this year. So we'll get 3 cards from here. We'll do some Tattoo Tarot, and then we'll get 3 cards from the India deck. Okay, Cancer? They do not like to fly, these cards. It's very peaceful how they like to be. They are shuffled already, and they just like to split. All right. Am I still recording? Yeah. The Tower. That's what I was worried about. By withstanding the coming challenges, your future will be bright. Seeing things as you want them to be in order to make them become that way. So the question is, where are your triggers? Do you have, now your sun placement for me is your triggers and your instincts. Now you might be, if you're in the last days of Cancer season, born in the last days of Cancer season, then the sun truly was already in Cancer. That means you have a Cancer aura and Cancer triggers and instincts. Okay, so anything like these tower moments are so tied to triggers, yes? Another thing would be to find where your Mars is, and that for me is your heart. Things that you are inclined to fight for and be loyal to and protect and defend, that's going to be tied to your triggers as well, right? So wherever your Mars is in your chart, look to the character of that and what house it's in, right? Because the house, that might be the set of concerns that are going to trigger the tower, okay? And the tower may have already happened. Certainly, but you know, there can be aftershocks. The star. The time of your renewal is approaching. By being brave enough to choose the riskier roads, yes, you will inspire those around you. And Leo just got this card as well, okay? So the protection, definitely. The guidance, Star knows that she's guided. Star knows that when the time is right. The healing, like it's about healing as well, right? Looking after yourself. But I won't detract from what they're saying. They're saying the time of your renewal is approaching. Be brave enough to choose the riskier roads, and you will inspire those around you. And that's all your Mother Earth energy of Cancer, the deepest heart, the most vulnerable heart, the most gaslighted heart. If you know what gaslighting is, when you're told by somebody that what you think and know is not what's true, right? They come between you and your sense of self, become between you and yourself, and you can't let anybody get between you and yourself. And you know, I mean, we need to question ourselves sometimes, but not to the extent that somebody can trigger you into the idea that they do it so that you take their word over your own word, right? So that they have the control. And that can happen so easily to the Earth Mother, the Earth Parent, shall we say, energy of Cancer. And the conscience, the rule of the moon is conscience. So what's going to go around is going to come around for everybody that's been using you. But it starts with you turning the tide, right? I have a Cancer heart and a Cancer Saturn. So my boundaries, my fears, and my calculated risks are in the last third of Cancer. And my heart, I believe, is in the middle of Cancer. 3 of Cups. And so, yeah. All that psychic. You're connected to the Cancers, the house of psychic guides, ancestors. Yes, who are your guides? And further to that, I was saying to Leo, who are your famous guides? Because people have done work in the field that you are going to be leading in. Yes, they made names for themselves in that field. You are following in their footsteps. You are picking up, you know, that's probably, if you have a contract, soul contract, then that's who it's with. Okay? Or some of the people that it's with. So if you go to thecardsoflife.com, it has to include thecardsoflife.com. Sometimes you can find, if numbers pop up for you, right? That's one way I found one of my guides, was because there was literally a card underneath a chair in a room that I never vacuumed for one of my clients, and she asked me to vacuum that room that day. And I was going through hell that day, and the person was gaslighting me and saying, no, you're not. And I moved this huge chair to vacuum, right? And under the chair was a single playing card. And it was, it was this way, face down, yes. And on the back, Hellfire Club. No, not Hellfire Club, but Hell. Cayman Islands. Why am I thinking, interesting for the Hellfire Club to come through. It did have fire on it, but Hell, it said Hell on the back. And I took a photo, I'm like, see? And it witnessed for me, right? And that was the first time, I wasn't even doing tarot at the time yet. And that was the first time that the cards, a card actually really, really witnessed for me when nobody else could. Yes. And I turned it over and it was a 9 of clubs. And then I was, and he's always the guy that was making my life hell, is spooked by cards. His mom always consulted psychics and stuff and readers. And so he immediately went to the cards of life because I didn't know to go there. And he was looking up what 9 of clubs meant, right? And then when I went there later, I was like, well, who's connected to 9 of clubs? So if numbers start popping up for you, you can look up, especially in decks, then look up the numbers and see who they're possibly connected to. You'll know if it resonates. And you start to find out that there are some seriously big names in this world that are involved in the fight, involved in helping, okay? And then what you get are a bunch of synchronicities. You get a bunch of messages to confirm like that you're not crazy to think that you've got famous people on the other side helping you. There will be real world affirmations of that connect from other people in your life that are you can't argue with how much proof will come through, so that you know, because you're going to need a firm foundation of evidence, right, that you are who you are, that people can't easily take you apart the way they've done before, because there will be an established set of proofs, yes, that this is who you're connected to, and this is who you're working with, and this is who's helping you. And they can go shove it, right? Justice. Okay, right? Justice. I'm running out of battery. I got to stop for a minute. But when all is said and done, you will receive the outcome that you truly deserve. I can't see how this... Okay. It's still... might be recording now. It cut out on me because the battery's gone. But your moral character will be justified, so maintain integrity and strive to balance yourself. Okay. I'll get a new battery. Okay. Fixed some burnt out candles as well. There we go. Okay. Absolutely. So that's perfect. Okay. Let's get some specifics. No, okay, they don't want. She doesn't want that side of the deck. No. At least I don't think. Maybe it's me. Yeah, I'm feeling a little... Okay, sideways. Sideways is good. Right, okay. 10 of Wands. There we go with completion. There we go with completion. Now it's sideways. We're stuck between the 9 and the Ace. And I'll just say that the 9 is actually the card that was under that chair. And then the Ace of Wands is your fire back, and I just relit 2 candles, yes? So this completion. To the floor. To the floor. As I set my hair on fire. Okay. I'm going to have to really dig for this one. You're going to have to dig. It's sideways as well. Okay. Hello, Pisces season. Oh, water signs. Water signs, water signs. Okay. So the safe passage card of 8 of Cups. Being guided. This perseverance, this detail stuff of the 8s. Right? Leading to the wish fulfillment of the 9s. Pisces energy, because 8, 9, 10 of Cups are Pisces cards. Because everything matches the year, yeah? You are the Ace, 2, 3, 4 of Cups. These are your guides. Okay, and what did I say? You're going to have to go digging for them. You're going to have to go digging. This is just what I've been saying. Okay, they're getting me, yeah, she's getting me to say it all for a reason. So the 8 of Hearts, the 10 of Clubs, possibly, you know, but I don't want to be too literal either necessarily. I think what's beautiful is when things show up in your own time and on your own radar. I mean, if this is, but then again, don't leave a stone unturned. So dig into those. Use these as the gateway numbers. Yes. Interesting. The wheel upside down. Timing turns. Why is the wheel upside down? What do we have? Because of the Tower. Because of the Tower. Yeah. What about the Tower? What happens when you start to get focused as well? I mean, you'll always be attacked by the bad guys, by the malevolent forces. It's a malevolent universe. It's a bad, I mean, it's got beautiful things in it, absolutely. The Zodiac wheel. Across from you on the wheel is Capricorn, and that's detail work. That's detail work. They're making me think of looking at the wheel, where you are on the wheel, and what's across from you. And that's Capricorn. And that's career and reputation. Saturn energy of boundaries. Calculate my Saturn, like I was just saying, my Saturn's in Cancer. So your boundaries, your calculated risks, which would be the 4 of Cups, you know, deciding, you know, how many guides, how stable you are with your, you know, okay. Divine timing there. Divine timing for the wheel to be flipped because it's a necessary tower. Okay. Right. So contracts. And in this sense, I would say spiritual contracts. I mean, they're going to affect you on Earth, absolutely, because this is all to do with Earth energy. And you got students there. You know, I'm no fan of the Pope. But in terms of you as the Hierophant, you as the one on Earth who knows, okay? The riskier roads. Renewal. The 8 leading back to the 7. The 8 of Cups is between the 7 of Cups, which is the transformation. Scorpio energy of transforming into this person. Yes. I think that there's some heavy duty work. The detail work. Let's get some cards from the India deck. Justice again. Justice twice. Yep, okay. Strength. So you get a Leo card. Yep. If you want to look up Grandmother Spider, look up Krios the crab who looked after the water nymphs. Not that everything's got a Greek base. Look up, I mean, I go through the astrologies everywhere because in the stars are the stars' energy, regardless of what we name the constellation or see it as, you know, the mythologies that one area gives to it. Sometimes that's the jerks that put us in this prison situation. They play with us and they feed us information certain ways, yes, just as they've done in all areas. They make us crawl to understand. And then they throw us breadcrumbs of knowledge, yeah? Information, innovation. You know, here, you need to know this now. Now, the good guys do the same in a very caring way. It's kind of like the difference between how a school system tests you, and that's the nasty way to do things. Homeschoolers switch it all up. And some teachers in the system do this as well. But it's so much better just to help you apply and to just help you, not to test you. It just, that only means whether or not you can test well. It doesn't mean that you've retained anything. It doesn't mean that you're emotionally connected. In fact, it stunts you emotionally connecting to any kind of information and data and application, right? So the better thing is to help you understand as you go and apply it and see how it, you know, really truly manifests. That's the way to do it. So that's the difference, as far as I'm concerned, with what we've been put into versus where we want to be. So this matrix tests us. I don't like that at all. That's the first clue. There's so many clues. But anyway. So grandmother spider, goddess, the lion goddess Sekhmet. But start to decide, the more you know about the rest of the world, yes, and how they've experienced the constellations, the stars. Like in Aboriginal Australia, one of the peoples, you know, the great emu in the sky, the dark space guides them, yes? I mean, in addition to the star space, but they're smart enough, right, to know that it takes both. You can navigate by the dark patches as much as the light patches. And as a drawing instructor, that's completely part of my thing, is that you need the dark as much as you need the light. That there's not a negative and a positive. There are technically a negative and a positive, but not morally. Not morally. Light doesn't equate to good, dark doesn't equate to bad. My Leo friend that went through everything, she can see auras, and she says that, you know, really nasty auras are black, but I would say that they've absorbed all the light, and it's merely a technicality that their auras are black, right? So if you get into Malcolm X, what he has to say about how we ended up calling good things white and good things and bad things black, or light and dark, right? We can go there. But the reason I get into that is the detail work of every challenge is the opportunity for growth on all levels: spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. Face challenges with courage and know that gentleness is also strong. And who masters gentleness better than Cancer? Right? And also in Aboriginal Australian, in some of their peoples, it's reversed from me, that the moon is masculine and the sun is feminine, right? Because the sun is the grower, but the moon also grows. But that's just how I still... So is the moon, therefore, as you, Cancer, is that your masculine energy, or is it a combination? There's masculine gentle, masculine like it's your conscious, so conscience. So is it, what are the masculine aspects, what are the feminine aspects? And then we include transgender, all the alphabet terms, yes. All those, the spectrum of sensitivity, shall we say. And therein is the strength. So here we have justice again. Remember the universal laws and the power of right conduct you will receive. Okay, I've cut out. I've got to figure out where I lost, because my battery, it's total trouble with the batteries today for some reason. I think she's coming through strong and using up a lot of the energy. That's what I think. So I'll be back, and then we'll read Death card. But I might need to review the Justice card again. We'll see where we cut out. Hang on. Yep, let me see if I can do it with the battery that I have left. Okay, so remember the universal laws and the power of right conduct. You will receive as you have given. And then I said, and you have given a lot, so you're going to receive a lot. Okay, as for death, what is it time to release? Is it anger, pride, or ego? Or is it attachment, suffering, and pain? Be free. Burn the rest in the pyre. And remember how I relit 2 candles there. And the fact that there was fire on the back of that card that was under that chair. And it witnessed for me. Yes? And the Hellfire Club came into my head, which is not a good club. Look into that. Okay, yep. I fought with that battery as long as I could. But, okay. I'll just read this again. What is it time to release? Is it anger, pride, or ego? Is it attachment, suffering, and pain? Be free. Burn the rest in the pyre. And I don't know if it caught me remembering about the card that was under the chair that said hell on it and that had fire around it. And I relit 2 candles here. Yes. We have justice twice. Justice twice. The star. Safe passage, but yeah, first that tower. That tower. You know, I just want... I think, yeah, okay. Sort of another sideways. Yeah. Okay, happiness. Here comes your happiness, okay? Get through this, your happiness is coming. Also, yeah, those instincts and those triggers. And if you have a Gemini Sun Cancer, that's what you need to find out. If you're born in the last few days of Cancer, then you have a Cancer Sun. So your triggers are mothering, fathering triggers, and that house. But if it's Gemini, then you have information triggers, knowledge triggers, community triggers. Oh, and if it's Cancerian, you'll also have ancestral triggers and spirit guide triggers, okay? Gemini, passionate triggers, you know, so lover triggers. But let's say a good trigger for Gemini would be cognitive dissonance, where there's some kind of truth coming in that doesn't match the truth that you thought, that you believed in, right? And you're going to have to go into it. Don't say no to it right away. If that's the case, then you have to investigate. You have to push into that trigger to get where it's there for a reason. It's there for a reason. The triggers come for a reason. The towers come for a reason, yes? You're building up. It's important. Everything you've done is important, yes? And it's inevitable. This is divine timing because you're ready. You're ready. And there's more information needed. There's new sources of information needed. So, new guides, yes. What else is a trigger? Gemini often have to fight alone. They have to recover in multiple ways. Be resourceful. So your instincts, and you've got that twin energy then. Like your instincts and your triggers are like the 2 twins, yes? Okay. And you want them working together. Sort of the chariot energy of Cancer. Harnessing and pulling together. And we've got 2 figures there, right? Okay. So that's a lot. It was a lot at the beginning, and it's a lot now. And so pace it. And I'll be back in a week or 2. If it helps, check out the astrology workbook, because that's part of the timing of everything as well. And much love. Much love, Cancer. You are awesome. Until next time.